Chinese Christian,
洪秀全
From the gang called
the Taiping Rebellion,
when I'm called off, I gotta
sword.
squeeze the trigger.
20 million Chinese die.
Hong Kong food, quicker than the human eye. Wow, wow, wow.
Welcome back to Obscure History, guys. It's gonna be lit. For the second episode, we're gonna be diving into the Taiping Rebellion. To get some background info on the leader of the rebellion, Hong,
秀全
check out my last video. Is that the word of "Hello, my Chinese son," God says to Hong? Some recap. So the friend of
Chinese,
Fen Yunsheng starts the Baoshang Dihu with a lot of poor peasants from Guangxi. Hong joins and they start recruiting people. People are loving Hong. Miners, peasants, and workers start to hear Hong preach about religion, but few really care about his preaching until he talks about hating the Qing, who the majority of China sees as an invader because they are the Manchu minority and not the Han majority. And Hong also preaches about sharing property. Wait, did someone say shared property? Hong and co. begin the rebellion in 1850, and by 1851, Hong takes his ragtag band of followers and captures the city of Guangxi, where on the first of the year creates a new dynasty, the Taiping Tianguo, or the Heavenly Kingdom, and he declares himself Tian Wang, or Heavenly King. As the months go by, Hong's forces grow in massive numbers, and they become a disciplined fighting force. They move east, and in September 1851, they capture the city of Yuan'an. Thinking that the Taiping were poorly trained rebels, the Qing immediately laid siege to the city, only to have the Taiping break the siege in 1852. The Taiping moved northwest to capture the city of Wuhan to get boats that were stored there. With those boats, they sailed down the Yangtze River to capture Nanjing on March 10th, 1853, and they renamed the city Tianjin, or Heavenly City. Hong's forces mount an expedition to Beijing, but were defeated and they retreated back to Tianjin. At this moment in time, the Qing dynasty is struggling to put down a series of rebellions and to fight against foreign invaders. There's the Yan Rebellion in the north, the Miao Revolt in the south, the Small Knife Society Revolt in the east, and a Muslim rebellion in the northwest. While these rebellions are happening, the Nepalese are invading Tibet, and the British start the Second Opium War, because China didn't want to buy their drugs. The Qing tried to siege Tianjin in 1856, but they were repelled. During this time of no conquest, there are a series of power struggles within the Taiping government. Yang Xiuqing, the Minister of State, tried to take Hong's power. So, Hong had Yang and his followers murdered by the general Wei Chenghu. Wei becomes arrogant, and then Hong has him also murdered. While this is happening, a major general in the army, Thicccq, who is fearing for his life, is like,
"Don't mind me, I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me please, fuck this shit, I'm out."
and flees with his followers, further weakening the Taiping army. In 1860, an important prince in the Taiping army, Li Shu-chen, launched a campaign to expand the kingdom. To expand the kingdom, he decided to attack the western port of Shanghai, where Western troops were garrisoned. When the rebellion first began, the Western powers were chill with the Taiping, because the Taiping were Christian. But when they found out that Hong thought he was
Chinese,
they were a lot less chill. The final nail in the relationship coffin was when Li attacked Shanghai. Under the command of Charles George Gordon, the combined forces of the Chinese, British, and French repelled the attack. While this is happening, a Qing army under the command of Zhen Guaofan sets out to destroy the Taiping army and their radical beliefs. In 1862, Guaofan meets up with the Shanghai forces, and they begin to lay siege to Tianjin. Running out of options, in June 1864, Hong commits suicide and places his 15-year-old son in charge of the kingdom. Within a month, the walls of the city are breached. 100,000 Taiping killed themselves to avoid capture. And after 14 years of war, the Taiping Rebellion ends, further adding to China's century of humiliation. Speaking of rebellions, my next video will be on one of the leaders of the Spanish Civil War, Francisco Franco, and it will come out on next Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time.
See you next week. Same bad time, same bad station.
Hey, if you like this video, stick around and subscribe so I can see you next week. Bye, mech.